Hey, so, you know, when I used to think that the church was under the new covenant, I used to think that out of just ignorance. I didn't know what those verses said in Jeremiah and Ezekiel. I didn't ponder those verses. Okay. Now, when I used to think the church was under the new covenant, I didn't backload works. I just thought, well, Christ is just going to fulfill all the obligations. Right? These people now, they're just, they're backloading works. But look, simply, if you just look at the verses of what the new covenant's talking about, the chapters, just read them, okay? And you don't allegorize it. Because look, when I saw those verses, and, why was I late to the party before? Well, because I was in the middle of moving and going to a different continent and all that stuff, and I was just busy, and honestly, I thought I'd really, really, really have to study a lot about it because, people made such a big deal about it, but they made a big deal about it over just a bunch of false pretense and ignorance as well. After I just looked at those verses, I couldn't believe that they railed on David so hard for so long, for him simply teaching a pretty simple biblical truth. If you just, it's simple if you just look at it. Okay, that's what I mean by that. If you just look at the verses. Now, these people that want to deny the description of the new covenant as it is in Jeremiah and in Hebrews and Ezekiel, look, it reminds me of when you show people that, when you clearly show people that, salvation's not of works, and here's verses to prove that, here's whole chapters to prove that, and then, here's verses on eternal security, here's chapters to prove that, here's verses to prove that, here's more chapters to prove that, and then all they want to do is oh, but what about, a couple verses in James 2 out of context? Where all the verses you show them go over their head, all the chapters you show them go over their head, because, they want the Bible to prove their opinion. But look, simply put, if you see something out of the Bible that doesn't match your opinion, okay, you're not supposed to make the Bible change. You're supposed to change your view, your opinion, okay? And just submit to the fact of whatever's said in God's word in context, okay? So, these people, they're not even, these people coming up against us saying that the church isn't under the new covenant. At this point, it's not like they're wrong, but they're being sincere. No, they're lying is what they're doing, okay? They're willfully lying to you. And they're lying to themselves also because they're trying to allegorize the Bible, okay? And these aren't just people that are a little mixed up and, they want to learn, but they just don't know some things yet. No, these people are liars, okay? And they want to entangle you in their lies.